I'm a bit like Derek Chisora.
I was about to say, you're the Chisora vibe, innit?
That's why me and Down Boy get on well. Let's just go with Abatero.
She's adding the
Come back.
You know everybody wants to see you against Babbage, right?
Babbage. No problem.
Joe presents From the Corner, brought to you by DAZN. Hello, fight fans, and welcome back to From the Corner, the boxing show where we come out swinging. With me, David Alorka.
And me, Swarzy Macaly, and oh my gosh, what a show we've got lined up for you today.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Troy Deeney and Solomon Dacres. Come on! Yes!
Come on!
That was energy, innit?
The boys from Brom are in the house.
Yeah, for real.
I love the fact that these, I don't know, you know, must have gotten to each other about this little grey affair.
I know, we didn't get the memo. We didn't get the memo.
You know what I like as well? They waited until they got there to start.
I know, yeah, man.
It's a lot of like London, Birmingham, like beef coming there.
Rival.
Yeah, we've just come here to be nice, enjoy the show, and you just want to be hostile. So. I got the big man with me, so I'm good.
It's true.
Solomon, obviously, welcome. You turned pro this year.
Yep.
And you won all of your fights. How is 2022 looking for you?
Same way. Things sort of, get active, get rolling, and just keep ticking off the W's, and keep climbing the rankings nicely. Like I said, I'm 13th in Britain after 3 fights. I've had the least fights in the top 20 by a good few. So keep ticking them off, climbing the rankings, and hopefully get to the #1 spot. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. What's it like to be like, I've not lost a fight yet. What's that feeling like?
It's early days yet, so, I'll keep my feet on the ground, anyone can take a loss. So when I'm the world champion, then I might be a bit more big-headed about it maybe. But at the moment, keep your feet on the ground, and I know there's tougher guys to fight out there.
Yeah.
You got to just keep working and keep progressing.
Absolutely. Well, I want to ask you both. You're both from Birmingham, but I need to ask you guys, were you ever troublesome in your early years? I'm going to go to you first. You're giving me troublesome vibes.
Me?
So when I was in school, because you're already telling me about scheduled fights after school. So what was your worst fight after school, please?
Nah, that weren't me. That was yours. So what the problem is, everyone's talking about fighting, and I'm just like, we're next to a fighter, so we can't really talk about that.
Yes, true.
I was more of a class clown that school was too easy for me. Do you know what I mean? All the answers were in the book, so I just wanted to make sure other people messed about and got in trouble. Had a good time, and I think I only ever had 1 fight at school. Mm-hmm. That was it. School in Birmingham was probably different to London, I suppose.
You've only had 1 fight in school, Solomon?
Me, I didn't have many in school.
That's good.
You know what it is though? When you're the biggest guy in the year.
Yeah.
God, they don't want it. They don't want it.
No one wanted it.
No one is
Let's be honest though, look at the size of that.
Yeah.
He's probably been that age since he was 12. He's in this big.
Yeah,
I ain't messing with that. Yeah.
Not far off. So, not many people. I wouldn't go looking for trouble. I was a bit like Troy, a bit of a class clown, a bit of a joker. But no one really, I didn't really look for trouble. No one really looked for it with me either, So,
So Troy, obviously, you're now in Birmingham. What's the difference between life in Birmingham and life in London?
It's just full on. So obviously the Blues Villa situation. And obviously I've got a big mouth as well. So when I was at Watford, I kind of said some things to get Villa fans frustrated. And now it's full time. So if I used to work at Watford, I used to drive 2 hours, do my work, come home, be the family man, walk the dogs, chill. Whereas now, you go shopping, you go cinema, it's like everyone wants a piece. And yeah, shameless plug, but even now with my book, everyone wants to we know Troy, edit, so can he sign it? And it's a Christmas present. And yeah, I just get followed, and it's a lot. But it's good to be home. I like being in the city. I like being around like-minded people. I think in Birmingham we're a bit slower. In London, everyone's fast and on the grind. So it's just nice to, say hello to people in the morning and they don't look like they want to fight you.
Yeah.
Were you ever tempted to go into boxing?
Oh, I love boxing.
You love it, yeah.
Yeah, I love my boxing. Yeah. I just ain't got the discipline. I just want to have a tear up. I'm a bit like Derek Chisora.
I was about to say, you're the Chisora vibe, innit?
That's why me and Down Boy get on well. So I'd put me, Dillian White, in that kind of category. Let's just go and have a tear up.
Straight scrap.
Yeah.
Straight scrap, innit?
And I got a big head, so I reckon I could take a few punches. So I'm all right. And I'm probably too small for a heavyweight, though.
Yeah, you'd probably be cruiserweight, light heavyweight, something like that.
Nah, I'm 15 stone too.
15. Oh, you'd be coming into heavyweight then?
Yeah, I have to cut.
You have to cut a bit down.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I feel like I need me and Lawrence. I'd be Lawrence's kind of that thing. Yeah. But
I want to ask, what got you into boxing? Why did you decide this is the path I want?
Always loved it as a kid and that. My dad never used to let me box though. He said, "You're not getting your head punched in and that, blah blah. Do better things, this and that." But I just snuck off to the gym with my mate when I was about 15. He was boxing. Did a bit of training. I always loved it. Mike Tyson. Watching Mike Tyson, was like, yo, I used to love that. I had a lot of aggression as a child, a lot of energy. Like, I had to do, some bit of physical contact. It was a good release for me. So yeah, from then I just always liked, doing that kind of stuff.
What other footballers do you think would kind of get their way about in the boxing ring?
Michael Antonio would.
Yes.
He's built for it. I think, do you know what? You'd be surprised how many football teams use boxing as like pre-season to get people fit, especially when you're coming back from injury as well.
Yeah.
They'll get you in there they class it as HIIT training, but you know what I mean? Like working the bag and keeping all the conditioning and that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I send my son boxing and like he's 12. So he's not really built for it, but I'm making him go because I think the discipline that boxing gives is so good for young children. But having a terror, most footballers wouldn't. And the reason I say that is because we're babies, we're pandered. We get everything. We got the nicest of the nice.
Yeah.
I'll go to the boxing gym and it's like, right, you lot get changed here.
It's still
Change the room.
Yeah.
You're changing on the ring. And
And it always smells, doesn't it? It always smells sweaty. It's
yeah.
I don't know.
That's just
I don't know
about all of that. Yeah, so.
But I've had Rio Ferdinand. He came up when I was on the GB squad. He came up to Sheffield because he was doing a little thing. He was going to have a pro fight. And I sparred him. I did spar with Rio, and he was okay. He's a bit older. Like he was at the end of his football career. But you think he could have maybe been decent, back in the day. He was all right, Jab. He was very fit in that for his age. If he started at 20, you might have had something about him.
It's crazy. Now, obviously, Troy, you're good friends with AJ. I've seen you at countless AJ fights, ringside. You know what I'm saying? I call you Mr. Ringside.
Why did you have to say
Look,
that?
I see you ringside. I see you out here ringside.
Good support.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Watford as well, from same ends and that. Do you see him getting revenge on Usyk in his next fight?
Do you know what? I'm seeing it because I don't ever doubt a man that's got a challenge that can see his vision and go, this is what I've got to do. I think what I've liked in the interviews I've seen of him post losing is the nastiness seems to have come back. You know what I mean? He's got that like, now you lot think I'm a dickhead. Like, let me just show you what it is and what I was all about. But I think as well, you have to remember, he's going up against greatness. Like, I think it's very easy for us, and I was speaking off air, like, I think that with social media and that, we always like just bash each other. It's easy to just be like, he's crap, man. And then you can change your opinion if he wins it. He's good, man. I told you he was always good.
Yeah.
No one ever is true anymore. And I think he's done great for British boxing, but for world boxing, I've been there from the start. I remember going to Sheffield when he was on Cal Brooks undercard. I remember going to York Hall before prize fighters. I've done all of those cards. And he was selling them out. People weren't going to watch prize fighter. They were going to watch AJ.
Yes.
And he was knocking people out in 20 seconds. And it was like, all right, finished. Next, let's go home. But now he's got to that level. Everyone, like, hatred comes along with it.
Yeah.
Because now they're going, he's rich, he's this, he should retire. But he's a fighting dude. He's a businessman, he's a father. Like, just respect that he's doing something proper. Like, I think anyone who gets in the ring deserves respect. But I think anyone that is pushing and making their life better, we should all just be a bit more humble and say, well done, man.
And when you're sparring with him, what is it that you've learnt from AJ? Or what is it that you've just seen of him that when you're up close like that, what have you learnt from him?
Just, professionalism. You see him in the gym, he's dedicated, he's consistent, he's one of the guys, every day, I've spent a lot of time sparring with him. And you learn, obviously being in there, a big, powerful world champion, you're thinking, this guy's knocking man out in a minute on the TV, and you're stepping in there sparring, you're thinking, I gotta be careful here. I can't get caught slipping here. So, but you start getting confidence, then you start thinking, okay, I'm doing all right with the world champion, number one in the game. You know what I mean? You're getting confidence, and he's a good guy in real life. He's a humble, down to earth guy, and you learn so much, and you see his work ethic and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it puts it in your own head for you going forward. Me as a prospect to see that I can do the same thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. So what's next for you? When are we seeing you fight again?
In the new year. Not got a date scheduled yet, but in the new year we're gonna just get active, man. I've got plenty of fights on the contract with Matchroom, so. Get busy, get active, man. So in the new year, should be, out there plenty of times, on DAZN and just putting myself out there.
Everybody wants to see you against Babbage, right?
Babbage, no problem.
Solomon, what's your thoughts then on trash talking?
And also, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is your trash talk?
Yeah,
trash
you
talk.
about this.
You're from Brooklyn. You've got to be.
Brooklyn's already up here.
You see me, I'm a responsive guy, I can... whatever's coming back to me, I can fire back. You know what I mean?
You're a counter puncher when it comes
I'm
to
a
trash
counter
talk.
puncher. You know what I mean? I'm witty like that. You know, I won't go talking the most, but I can hold myself. You know, I'll play off depending on the person. My managers, they put a post up. Who's next for Solomon Dacres, and they put 3 fighters there. In the post, and the one fighter replied in the comments, really diplomatic, you know, Solomon's a very tidy boxer, very nice. If we ever met, the money has to be right, blah, blah, blah. I wish him all the best. So I just replied, pussy-o.
Yes.
And you're trash talking, sir? How good is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, I'll be a 12.
Wait,
But whoa, okay.
Because I
12.
go the Eminem route. I just trust myself. Like, I'm crap.
yeah.
You should beat me. And then that guy would be sitting there going, raw.
Yeah.
And then
You
when I
spun
beat
him.
him, I was like, I told you I was crap. So how bad was he?
Yeah.
No, I just spin it that way. Like, I'm rubbish. I'd expect to beat me.
In the football world, who's the best trash talker? Other than yourself.
Now,
You're
you know
12.
what? In football, it's a different kind of... The worst thing you could do in football is cash somebody off.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing, like, a lesser team, let's say, and someone goes, like, shut up, I'll buy you. At what point can you answer back? Like, at that point, you're like, you probably
cash
could.
them off.
Yeah.
I will buy you.
Yeah, like-
Shut up, I'll buy you.
I remember that got said to me once, and I genuinely went to the guy, please do. And he was like, what? I went, please do. I don't want to do this. And he was just baffled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying. Oh, my days. I love it. It was another huge night of boxing on the zone last weekend. George Kambosos Jr. took on Teofimo Lopez live and direct at the Garden. I was there. It was absolutely raucous. Here are some of the highlights.
Doesn't get much bigger than this. Round 1, scheduled for 12, and Teo comes out. Oh, and that got him off balance.
That was such a short right hand, right? A firefight with his opponent.
Oh, what a right hand from George Kambosos! Out for him to bounce back after it was Lopez, who had a solid last round. Look, he can't steady. And now Lopez teeing off, but Kambosos fires.
In that last round, the 9th round,
Oh, and is that a knockdown? It is! What a battle!
And the new IBF George Ferocious Kambosos.
I'm really surprised that isn't a meme yet of him raising his hand thinking, and then in disbelief that I did not win. What did you guys make of the fight?
It was a great fight, you know. From round 1, you could see that's the difference there between a man coming to fight and a man coming to box. Lopez come to straight fight, scrap. He came out swinging. Kambosos came to box.
Yeah.
That's why he put him down in the first round. He saw him coming, put him down with a nice right hand. But Lopez was just on smoke from the first bell, man.
Yeah.
He was just like, this guy is getting wiped out, and it didn't happen, man.
Is that a lack of respect, you think?
Lack of respect. He didn't respect him at all. You see the build-up, man. He thought this is a mandatory challenger. You know, Australia's never got no good boxers. I'm going to wipe him out. His dad was saying the same thing. But, you know what I mean? You got to switch on for anyone because every dog has his day, man.
We saw another great performance from Ramla Ali as she convincingly beat Izzy Vera on Saturday night. From Somali war refugee to absolute professional boxer, she's absolutely tearing it up there in the ring.
She's kind of like, she's doing it all. She's significant to the game.
Yeah, I've known Ramla for a few years. You know, she's represented Somalia, but she actually won the English national championships as an amateur.
Yeah.
And then she boxed for Somalia internationally, went to the Olympics, you know, took her chances. And like you say, she's doing all these different things, you know, aside from boxing. And then she's, you know, doing well in the boxing game as well. She's tying it all together nicely. So I wish her all the best, man. She's doing really well.
Yeah.
And the outfit was mad as well.
Hey, listen,
Yeah, I look at things
we don't
like
want to shout out any brands over here, but you know what I'm saying? She was shining, you know.
It was the braids for me. I was like, ooh, sis. Yeah, congratulations to her. Big win. Big win. Okay, right, it's teamwork time. I'm so gassed for this game. So this game is called Boxer or Philosopher. Okay, so we're going to shoot some sentences to you, and you've got to work out between the two. We're nice on this show, so we'll let you work together.
Okay.
But given your names, you know, we're going ancient Greece, we're going Trojan War, we're going for your inspiration from your names.
Okay.
So the game is called Boxer or Philosopher.
All right, you ready? Guys, tell us, did this quote come from the mouth of a boxer or a philosopher? I know you're trying to look at the card over here, but you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing through this bad boy. Don't you worry about that. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Boxer or philosopher?
That's a philosopher.
Yeah,
I think I've
that's
heard
to
that
say,
one
yeah.
before. I think that's a philosopher one. Yeah.
Philosopher, yeah?
I think I've heard that one.
You think you heard that one, yeah?
Think so.
Philosopher, yeah? Incorrect. It's a
I'm the
boxer.
worst.
Who said
Listen,
that?
I'm saying you got thrown off by my voice. You know what I'm saying? Man, who has? No, it's Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was a philosopher.
Oh!
He was more than a boxer. He was
I
everything,
like
man.
this guy. Okay, number 2. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit.
Ooh.
That's sounding like a boxer to me, this sort of thing, but
Yeah, after the last one, I'm saying like the philosopher
you
now.
know what I mean?
But now I'm with you. That's a sports.
I like that
person
it's hard.
repeating.
I've heard the quotes, but I just don't know who the buy. I'm saying philosopher.
Okay, philosopher. Team, you going philosopher?
I'll go with the big man. I'm not going to argue with
Go
him.
on.
Oh, cool. You got it wrong. I'm really sorry. It was a philosopher. It was Aristotle.
No, that's what
that's
you
right,
said.
that's right.
Then.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You got it right.
Yeah, but said you have Christmas bloopers. Put that.
Okay, sorry. I didn't hear you say. I'm sure you said. But you were correct. Aristotle.
Yeah.
1-0.
All right. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. Philosopher or boxer?
This sounds like a trick question. This
Even I'm looking like, what?
No boxer would talk about
Nah, this
not
is-
being ready to fight.
this is some old war general or something. You could take the plunge on this.
Yeah, I'm going to say philosopher.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, no,
Yes, and you know what? You was actually right. Old war general. This is Sun Tzu. You know what I mean? The old school book, The Art of War.
There you go, man.
You know,
He's on point.
This is the next one. I'm not God, but I am something similar.
Wow.
Philosopher or
That sounds like some Tyson Fury stuff.
It's either that or Conor McGregor. innit?
One of them, you know.
Yeah, we'll go.
You got a boxer, yeah?
Yeah.
It is a boxer. Roberto Duran said that.
Duran.
Yes,
Hands of stone.
yes. All right, the final one. To see a man beaten not by a better opponent, but by himself is a tragedy.
That's a boxer. That's like a Customato kind of line.
You think? I was
Yeah,
thinking as a-
that's like a Teddy Atlas.
Yeah, I'll go with
Box.
boxer as well.
You got? All right, okay. You are absolutely spot on. And you are actually 100% spot on. It's Customato.
Customato, man.
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
That's-
All right, okay, let's see,
Got
man.
it, got it.
Yes, fabulous, fantastic job. Another eloquent and outspoken fighter is the newly crowned WBC and IBO super featherweight champion, Alycia Baumgardner.
Winning the fight against Terry Harper has been amazing. And again, I'm still on cloud 9. Just soaking up all the love and just so proud of myself that I accomplished something so big. And I'm loving every moment of it. Up and leading to the fight, just round 1, I came out strong and, I made a statement and, I was just being patient because I knew that the knockout was going to come. And, in the 4th round, I timed my right hand perfectly. And as you can see, it was one of the brutalest knockouts on her feet, that we've seen. And so that was awesome. I've used so much of my time and effort and dedication, discipline, the sacrifices to get me to where I am today. And it just drives me to keep pushing forward because I know if I continue to do what I've been doing, the sky is the limit. I can do anything I put my mind to, and I can have anything that I want and that I ever dreamed of. So I'm going to continue to work hard. And Troy, we're definitely coming after you to get your title. Again, Mayor knows that this fight between her and I will be a big fight. I definitely see it being action-packed, and it is necessary to have, and me being crowned undisputed when that time comes. So, that's what we need for this division, and I will secure that moment. I believe that I am a role model for just the younger generation to be able to look at and to look up to. Many women in the sport of boxing have different stories, and everybody relates in a certain way. And so if I can be an influence on, a young girl who's just the only girl in the gym, I will do that and just continue just to grow and, motivate the youth.
Women's boxing is definitely on the rise. You've got someone like Alycia who's just out here calling guys out just for bans, but also for titles as well, right? So what does someone like her and her character do for the sport?
She's great for women's boxing, A good thing with the women's fighters, they win a world title. They want to just unify the division straight away. They're calling out the other champions, which is great with the women's boxing. And you see like Katie Taylor, straight away, all the titles. Clarissa Shields looking for all the other titles, They're not messing around. because they know the game's kind of new for the women. So they want to get themselves on the pedestal and put themselves at the top quickly. So it's great, you know, and the win she got there against Terry Harper, you know, I'm friends with Terry Harper, but it was a great win, you know, powerful, strong, and, you know, she seems like you can see how happy she is with what she's done, you know. That's every boxer's dream, and she's done it.
Absolutely. She's looking to unify the super featherweight division. Do you think she'll do it?
Yeah, because see, before she came out, they were saying that she's a model. She does all these other things outside of boxing. And then she came out, she had Drake on, she was dancing. I thought, it's only going to go one or two ways. Unbelievably good, or she's getting slumped. And the right hand that she threw, knock somebody out on their feet is difficult. Actually, hit her right on the top of the head as well. It weren't like it was on the chin. So I wouldn't want to fight her. I don't think any woman would be looking at her going, that is an easy task. And the confidence in which she speaks is someone that knows how good they are, but also how much they're willing to do it. So I don't think it's a case of, as we touched on earlier, money would change this lady. I think that she's probably got money from the modelling side, and she just knows this is what I want to do. Yeah. And that's a dangerous person to be involved with.
Absolutely.
Indeed. WBC lightweight sensation Devin Haney looks to put his belt on the line this Saturday night in Las Vegas against Jojo Diaz Jr.
I started boxing at the age 7 years old. I've always been a fighter, always loved to fight since I was a little kid. That's how I actually started boxing, because I was fighting in school. I just feel like fighting is in me. It's something I love to do. Boxing doesn't feel like a job for me. It's something that I love to come to the gym. I love to spar. I love to train. I love getting better. So I feel like this is something that I was born to do. I'm feeling so ready. Camp has been going great. I'm feeling strong, fast, smart, and December 4th is definitely gonna be fireworks. I can't say where JoJo is most dangerous. I got to get in there and see for myself. You know, if he's shown rugged, he's shown that he was, you know, strong, he's durable, he's been cut, he's been hurt, but it's different when you get in there with Devin Haney, and I will show him that, you know, the best things that you do in the ring, I will take away from you, and that's what I will show on December 4th. I will handicap him of his best attributes. Knockouts are the best way to win in boxing, but they don't always come. But of course, I'm hoping for one. I'm gonna go in there, stick to the game plan, do what I do best, and if it comes, hopefully, inshallah, it comes. If it doesn't, then that's okay. But I want to win in devastating fashion. I'm not really big on that. Oh, I'm looked into his eyes. I saw fear. I'm not really into that. At the end of the day, he's gonna go in there and he's preparing his best for me. I'm preparing my best for him, and the best man gonna win on December 4th, and that's gonna be me. I want to, you know, be everything for the young kids coming up to look up to. I want to be a role model for the younger generation to look at and say, I want to be like Devin Haney. I want to do it the Devin Haney way. And that's pretty much, you know, how I'm doing it. I took a little bit from this fighter, that fighter, and I put it into the Devin Haney style, whether it's inside the ring, whether it's outside the ring. That's what makes up Devin Haney. Oh, I'm by far the most avoided man in boxing.
So, Troy, do you think Haney's going to do the business on Saturday night?
I like him. I like what he's about. Again, confidence, but also got a bit of Mayweather like arrogance that he knows he's put the work in and he's ready to deliver. And I think that Lopez fight just happening will give him that mental re-engagement to just make sure that he's fully attuned from the start. And he's a slick boxer. And if he makes a statement, now that Kambosos fight and all the other fights, they'll be looking at him like he's the payday.
Yeah, for real. The trash talking is in full force, you know. Diaz is saying he's going to give Haney the ass whooping he deserves. Like, what do you make of that? Do you think that's going to happen?
That's them Americans for you, man. No matter what it is, they're going to say it. I watched a bit of Diaz. He is that kind of character, his game. I've seen his fights. He puts his hands up. He's not afraid to take a punch, to give a punch, you know. So he's going to try, but I think Haney's going to be too slick, too sharp for him, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And guys, just a quick word on the rematch between Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yarde. Yeah.
I got to back my guy, Anthony, man. I feel like the first one was close, wasn't it? Yeah. And I think they're saying that Anthony can't box, but I think he can box. I think he's just got used to steamrolling that level of opponent. And I think he's made the adjustments. And it's been a long time with both of them not being out of the ring as well. So anything could happen, but I'm going to back Anthony to do it, stop him in the later rounds.
Yeah. Talk to me.
I'm going to go the other way.
Wait, I love it. I love it.
Arthur, he didn't get the credit he deserved for winning that fight. You know, he's a great boxer, Lyndon Arthur. And I think Yarde will make adjustments. He can make adjustments. But I think You know, Arthur's a smart boxer. He'll make adjustments as well because even though he won, he'll think, I need to improve on certain things. And I think he can pull it off again, you know.
No, I was going to say, I think it's time to play another game. You lot did well on the first game, but we're going to bring it back. It's time now for the headband challenge.
Oh, yes. You know the drill. 30 seconds to see how many times you can hit the ball.
45 is the number you got to beat in 30 seconds. How you feeling?
Do you get any trials? Any?
Nah.
Nah. Let's do it.
Who's going first?
Big man.
Okay, I'm gonna take it.
There you are.
Come on, then.
It's a bit of Velcro there. Enjoy it. So you're gonna want to squeeze out of here because
Yeah.
it might get a bit mad.
All right.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
1, 2, 3,
No, this is mad.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Come back.
Come
My head.
on,
8,
yes.
9, 13.
Boy.
There's a headband 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 29.
I'm one-handed, yeah, differently.
28, 29, 30, 22, 23,
Wait, come
24,
on.
34, 35, 36,
Wait.
37, 38, 38.
She's adding the
Hey!
misses.
Come back.
Adding the misses over here.
37, 38, 29, 50, 51,
You got 4 more
58,
seconds. Come on.
32, 33, 34, 35, 55, 56,
That's time, right?
30.
Time.
How was that, man? Rhythm.
Stress.
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 I was encouraging with the counting.
I feel like you got spot on counting. My hands are obviously bigger than his, as you can see, and I was hitting everywhere.
Oh, guys, we want to say a massive thank you to both of you for coming through today. It's been such a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, remember to find this on the Joe YouTube channel or wherever you find your podcasts. You've been watching From the Corner, brought to you by JOE and DAZN. You've been listening to From the Corner, brought to you by JOE and DAZN.